Yes, please.
In this connection, would I submit that when this Regent Park Islamic Mosque was built, it was in the newspaper that the mosque has been built on 117 degrees to face the Kaaba. That I read in the paper, so from here it should be 100.
That means less the actual delineation. That is wrong then, by that degree.
So that is 90 degrees, so 70 degrees towards the east from north.
I understand. The point is that in actual fact, 117 plus and a half degree is the actual north. Actual north is the north which should be true north. It is called true north.
We take from true north, sir.
That's right. Now you are telling me about true north.
Yes, sir.
The fact is that in London, for instance,
sir,
the true north is different and the magnetic north is different. And the variation between the true north and the magnetic north also varies from time to time.
Sir.
Presently, as we calculated, the difference was about 6.5 degrees. Was it 6 or
5 degrees and 18 minutes.
5 degrees and 18 minutes.
For London.
Yes. So that means that will have to be either subtracted or added to that.
Added in this case.
In this case. So 117 plus 5 would be 120 for 2.
123, but there is more seconds, so it makes total 124.
5 plus 77 is 122. 170 plus 5 is 122, not 23.
According to our calculation, it is 118 degrees minutes. Plus,
that is, I am coming to that. According to their calculation, it is wrong. But according to our calculation, it should be it should be more than that. Instead of 117, it should be 119 some. We have made investigations on this subject, and for the last 1 year or so, we have involved some Ahmadi scholars in it and also consulted the knowledgeable people in this subject, and also consulted some very dependable scientific charts. After that, we have reached certain conclusions, and they will be published in a small booklet form for Ahmadis all over the world to benefit from that. According to those calculations, when we checked the direction of this mosque seems to be quite some distance away from the true direction. And but there is another system which also is operative in other scientific regions, and that system might have been applied here in this case. I'll check up. But
as you advise, and we change our direction in Canada, as you advise,
exactly.
East to north, we do north.
That's right. It will have to be further.
That's right, sir.
It will have to be further modified according to these recent calculations.
Even for Canada.
Even for Canada.
Yes. Thank you.
Because when you see the needle of north, in any campus, the compasses show the needle apparently facing north, while they do not face north most often than not. What happens is that there are subterranean deposits and some other factors which play a role to deflect the needle either to east of north or to west of north or to east of north. Now they have calculated all these factors and from year to year revise these situations, because these situations which influence the magnetic needle are not a constant. They are variable factors. And according to scientists, it may happen that one day north would become south and south would become north as far as the magnetic needle goes. And some variations are constant. They are traveling in a certain direction. So all these factors, when brought into focus, then certain calculations have to be done about the true north, relationship between true north and the magnetic north. They have been now done, and we have formed a chart. And that chart, after a little further investigation and verification, inshallah, would be published.
I was only going to mention one point, that Muslims throughout the 14th centuries have been very particular about keeping the Qiblah direction correct. And we have mosques all over the world in various countries. There are mosques in India, there are mosques in Egypt, there are mosques everywhere. And it might be a good idea to apply this system, new system which they are proposing, and check the Qiblah direction in those mosques also.
That we have done already.
Yeah.
But if it works, then obviously the fact is that mostly in India and Pakistan, they had the erroneous idea that the west is Qiblah. While as you travel north of India, the difference between north and south is quite some.
Yes.
And as you travel north, the Qiblah direction would be deflected towards the south. And as you travel south, the Qiblah direction would be deflected towards the north. And these factors were never taken into account. The result is that most of the mosques built in Pakistan and India are not facing Kaaba. And they do not confer with each other either. And if you draw parallel lines, they would cross each other so many times that a big confusion would result from that.
Not even the Shahi mosque?
No. Not even the mosque built in Spain, which we checked when we were there. So the nearest mosque, so far as we have checked, is Masjid Mubarak Raqwa. Because there, Hazrat Chachajan, Mirza Sharif Ahmad Sahib, paid personal attention to it, and he was also had a scientific calculating mind. So he came as close as possible from the information available at that time. So that I know is the nearest. And also the mosque built in Karachi, that is by some Arabian money, this is a non-Ahmediyya mosque in Defense Society. That I had checked, and the Qibla there, according to the available calculations, was also correct. And there too they took pride in this, that they had taken very great care in setting the Qibla direction. Now that mosque in Karachi, which everybody knows is the best direction, differs from every other mosque. Yes, please.
There is a small watch-like thing introduced by Japanese, kind of.
There are so many. Some Japanese, some Swiss-made. All these.
I tried to check.
All these are very rough and very crude. And they are and
there is difference of 10 degrees.
but it is more. The fact is that is a very crude system for a traveler. In fact, a traveler is given the advantage in Islam to face any direction which he conceives is the right direction. So Allah is very kind to human beings in this regard, because scientific data was not available for everybody in every time. So if even while you are traveling, that in the direction in which you are traveling, that is your mount is going in a certain direction, you can say namaz facing the mount, the direction of the mount. So that shows that Islam is very convenient religion for everybody to follow. And these minor variations, if done and if found after good intentions and not intentional mistakes, they are acceptable and possible. So, but we'll see what we decide later on. The fact is that those compasses which you are mentioning, they conform to this general principle of leniency. Although they made quite a few mistakes.
They add so much in various countries.
I know. I have used it for the last 2 years very extensively, and I have got quite a few brands of this thing you are talking about, and I have compared them as well. The fact is that it's a very loosely applied system. For instance, for Europe, many European countries, traveling from north to south, it gives 24 number. While the fact is that every 100 miles or so, there is a definite deviation from the direction of Qiblah, and it doesn't give you. So, minute calculations is a different thing, but during journey, to find a general guideline, that is quite different. It is acceptable in Islam to find a rough direction and follow it during a journey. They can serve that purpose. But when you build a fixed place for worship, like a mosque, then you have to be as careful as you can possibly be. They're two different things. Sahib, did you send to examine the pony which caught your eye?
Not that one, but I was told that is a bit too small for a person.
15 hands.
Yes, sir, I've been told that it should not be less than 15 hands, and I've also been told that it should not be less than 6 years old, and I've located 2 others. I'm hoping that Huzur may be able to see this during the coming weekend, at least one of them.
Really? Very interesting. And if you give me their description and kind, etc., then I'll look through the book on horses to find out their comparative merits.
I will do certain ones. Yes, sir. Somebody has sent this question
From?
I don't know. Ladies from
But
ladies.
is that microphone not operative? Ladies microphone? Fine? How do you know?
I think
The lady? Fine? I see. I'm glad you explained. When you are being defeated by Mubarak, the amateur, you are a professional angler, and Mubarak is just a child before you, and I understand he beat you second time, eh? It was the second chance in succession.
actually he has already over the limit, and I have to take out my rod outside.
What?
He has over the limit. And that's why I have to take out my rod outside. I couldn't fish after that.
But during the same time, you caught less and he caught more.
He was fishing me. Not fishing.
He had. That's it. So that speaks volumes for your training, your capability to give training to others. But it's not a compliment to your teacher. The one who taught you how to catch fish was inferior as a teacher than you are. You understand the point?